Stands ready to party. Just a tremendous atmosphere tonight. And the kickoff to Derek Young. He takes it and finds some room. He dropped just short of the 30-yard line.
I want the Seahawks
Sam
to
Darnold,
win.
you know about
Seahawks
his
love
journey,
the
which began with the Jets,
play.
but his 8th year here off that Pro Bowl season in Minnesota. A very solid first 6 games.
Yeah, I think his greatest quality is his mental toughness. Chris, you mentioned the start of his career, some downs, right? Some difficult times that never broke him. And he found a place in San Francisco, found a home in Minnesota, now his new home in Seattle. He is playing the best football of his career.
Brady Russell lined up in front of Kenneth Walker III, who's celebrating his 25th birthday tonight. Gets the first carry and gets just a couple off the left side. Henry Otoa there on the stop. Seattle offense with Clint Kubiak calling the plays. Talked about Smith and Jigma. Cooper Kupp has been a revelation. He's been so valuable, Darnold says, as a leader. And his deep understanding of coverage is important. They'll use the tight ends a lot. And the offensive line up against it, against Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, the elite pass rushers that the Texans bring. 2nd and 8. Ball out quickly, as it will often be tonight. Smith and Jigma there, but too wide, and it's 3rd and long.
You already see it. Houston pass rush really getting some push on the interior. I think that's the thing. When you have a quarterback who gets the ball out so quickly, typically you don't have a lot of time for the defensive ends to get there. Although you see defense coordinator Matt Burke there on your screen, it's really going to be about inside-out pressure here. Now they got a 3rd and long situation. This is the kind of situation that you just don't want to be in against this defense. They can play tight coverage and they can really get after up there.
Staley and Kamari Lassiter as good a tandem as you'll see. Zach Charbonnet is the back in this 3rd and 8. They bring pressure. Darnold gets it out, and getting stopped just short of the marker is A.J. Barner. Dalen Petrie made the stop. Early decision here. It's going to be 4th and 1, the 38.
Yeah, this is a football team that typically doesn't go for it on 4th down. They have a very low percentage in terms of wanting to go for it. So they have the punt team.
Some rumbles here.
Yeah, but I think this is the right decision. You got an elite defense. You don't really want to give Houston's offense any, at least, hot start. It's a really nice job by Houston, secondary-wise, rallying to make the tackle. This is the right decision by Mike McDonald.
Yazzie, Michael Dixon, highest paid punter in the NFL. It's a high boot. Braxton Berrios waits for a fair catch and then lets it bounce. And it's going to be down inside the 5-yard line. The decision of punt looks pretty good. And they pin the Texans back. Smile from Dixon there. So here comes C.J. Stroud. So much on his shoulders. No Joe Mixon. Nick Chubb hoping he can get the run game going. Looking for targets like Nico Collins tonight.
And this is a guy who really, over the past couple of weeks, and last time they were out on the field against the Baltimore Ravens, he really did look comfortable. When he has got time and he can survey the field, this guy has a ton of mental horsepower. He's got a smooth of an operation. And just see how many elite quarterbacks in the NFL. And Nick knows what about it. He believes he is elite, and he's planning on showing that tonight.
He does. Near perfect QBR that went over the depleted Ravens team. Much tougher task tonight. Stroud lining up in the end zone. Here comes the noise. Move up inside to Nick Chubb. 8th-year man. 4-time Pro Bowler. Plows ahead for 5.
A play like that, new offensive coordinator Nick Caley stressing they got to be diverse offensively tonight. You see it with Nick Chubb in a run. Can they be good to get to 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8, try to create some favorable situations?
Ask these guys up front, because a lot of it lies with them.
No question, but you know what? This is a win already for them, right? This is a win. And they're 2nd and 5. That's the key to the game for them. You got to stay out of those long down and distance situations.
Stroud rolls and throws, and a one-handed grab made by Schultz in the tight end as a 1st down out across the 25.
Yeah, this is a nice job. You get an efficient run on 1st down, and then you line up with your 2 tight ends at the line of scrimmage. A ball fake from the underneath center quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Little block back open, Schultz, and an easy dump off.
That's what it is right there, right? About completions. even if you are the best running team in the NFL, it's like incredible ball handling, incredible trying to run the football and see how it helps.
Stroud, more than 70% completion rate so far. You take that tonight, it's going to be tougher against this defense. It's Drake Thomas, the linebacker, in coverage there. See this center, this defense here, which is so tough up front. Leonard Williams having a monster here over Trojan.
They just got so many interchangeable parts up front. I mean, Leonard Williams can move from a 3 technique, rushing outside chain of the guard, to a 9 outside the tackle. He's just so diverse. And Byron Murphy had a great year. DeMarcus Lawrence comes over from the Dallas Cowboys, just like a stud player in Motley. He's got good man everywhere.
Monster game against the Jaguars. And off inside, swallowed up. It's Drake Thomas again making the play. He'll lose 3.
Yeah, and you can see Seattle, they slant. They bring the backside pressure, and in that, the defensive line is slanting right into that run, and this is exactly where you don't want to be as Houston.
You see who's the disruptor there? It's Leonard Williams. I mean, Ed Ingram just has no chance against a guy that big and strong, that quick off the line of scrimmage. He just wrecks it all right from the get.
Feed off each other. Williams and Lawrence, these two unique pass rushing bookends.
And really in this situation, who's solo? You have to help if you're Houston to chip both of your tackles with all these bodies up in the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 13 could be a nightmare against this first round.
It is a safety, yeah.
Stroud very nearly trapped. 18-yard loss. And when the knee went down, where was that football? Looks like it's back in the end zone. Mike Chase is a rules expert. They ruled it. No safety. And then here comes the challenge flag. Again, Mike, try to get Mike's mic on.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
That's a great challenge because that first contact just outside. They're not going to let them challenge us now. They talk to the coach about this. There won't be a challenge. The first contact is outside the end zone. They're giving you progress at that point where the ball was, so there won't be a safety here.
It's a judgment call. You can see Mercer dragging him back by the leg. So it's not where the knee goes down. It's the first contact.
No, he did not get that safety. That was close.
Very short punt formation. Corey Horton, dangerous return. Saying in midfield, it's a low snap. So does a good job to get the boot away. Strides back to the 45-yard line. Makes a cut. Falls forward. 55-yard punt, 11 on the return. And Darnold and the Seahawks have taken possession in plus territory. Scoreless early going here.
Ball is, I'm not sure exactly why they didn't allow them to challenge that one, unless they just told him it was so far out.
Have they gone to replay? Are you convinced the call was correct, that the ball was outside the end zone when contact was first made?
I don't know that I see that.
Man, if I am a Seattle fan, that one doesn't sit well with me.
I think there was an early safety signal there. But in any case, Seattle takes over at the 44. Walker, big burst. Rounds forward for about 5. Amari Lassiter up the corner to make the stop.
One of the things I love about this offense in Seattle with Clint Kubiak is how they play with their multiple tight ends. A.J. Barner, second year, and Elijah Arroyo, their first year. They'll put Sam Darnold underneath the center, and the diversity in their run game. That time, double tight ends, duo, which you get double teams. We're just trying to get 3 or 4 yards, get the run started. It's exactly who they are at times offensively.
Third offensive coordinator in 3 years has been great familiar with Darnold, who wants to take a downfield shot.
Got the first down, yes.
Downfield threat big time.
And then quarterback under center. Just watch what he does here with Derek Stingley doing. Watch the second level skate along the line of scrimmage, touch towards the quarterback, and then becomes quarterback under center. He turns his back to you. You see the eyes in the backfield. That's all it takes, and that's how dangerous it is, this passing pass.
And I love the fact that they had 3 tight ends on the field that time, Barner, Arroyo, and Sahlberg, presenting run to the defense and then the play action for the shot.
27-yard gain. They get into the red zone. And off the right side is Walker. This is the most run-heavy offense in the red zone in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's because they believe, Clint Kubiak's the son of Gary Kubiak, who's got great ties to the Texans organization. They believe good red zone offenses run the football. And if they can be efficient on those early downs there, then they'll create those matchups. Is it going to be Barner? Is it going to be Arroyo? Is it going to be JSN or Cooper Kupp? Those pieces, this is the place where it's utilized the most.
Second and 7. Darnold straight back. Scans across the middle.
First down. Yes.
And it's a first and goal to Seattle.
This is exactly where Sam Darnold is. He talks about clicking through his progressions. Underneath the center, watch go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to get to the top of his drop, and he's going to peek right. Not there. Reset, second hit, ball up. That is exactly the biggest growth of where he is, and it's why he's playing at such a high level.
You see the danger that Elijah Arroyo presents to you. See how he gave that little move at the top of his route? To get some separation. Here they are back on the center again.
6 offensive linemen on his first and goal. Charbonnet's the back. Middle was clogged. It stutter step, and now he tries to drive his way into the end zone.
Little football nuts. Hold on to the flag on the field.
They have single touchdown as the pile just pushed Houston backwards.
All suffered without referee.
Seattle takes the short field and sets up a short touchdown run.
This is what Zach Charbonnet is known for, the lower body power. You can see that strong. He's continuing to use his lower body, get some help from his teammates.
More power than 214 pounds would suggest.
Yeah, absolutely. He has got a tremendous strength to his core. It's been that way for
It's a touchdown, yes.
Kenneth Walker. You see Kenneth Walker and how he's put together. I mean, these guys are absolute hammers. And with the way in which they marry the run game and the pass game, there's no question. This is one of the more difficult offenses to contend.
Blue, my favorite part about that drive, 5 plays, all 5 under center. In this offensive era, it's run, action, and then a smash mouth goal line finished by this offense.
Replay center did take a look and confirm. Touchdown for Charbonnet. There's Jason Myers. And really the perfect start for Seattle. Backed up, Stroud and the Texans. The pass rush got after him, and the great field position, just a 44-yard touchdown drive. Thanks for joining us over on ESPN2. Glad to get joined. Just joining us, we are in Seattle for the back half of this doubleheader. The Seahawks off to a quick start. Zach Charbonnet punching it in from 1 yard out. It was set up by a couple of Sam Darnold to Elijah Arroyo passes. They had a short field to work with, and here's the final play of the drive.
Yes, a great drive. Chris, you talked about the short field and some of the run action, and then first down, just to finish the push by this offensive group. It's the ideal start at home for Seattle.
They've just got so much diversity in this offense in terms of body types. They can play the power game. They can play a little bit of the finesse game. Sam Darnold just playing high level football. Going up against one of the best defenses in the NFL in the Houston Texans. But as you can see, this is going to be a battle. This is going to be the Texans' most stern test so far this year.
Kickoff taken at the 3. Smith take down the sidelines. Well, welcome to the back half of the doubleheader, the last one of the season. Chris, Lewis, and Dan. We talked about this being a defensive showcase, two nasty, aggressive defenses, and who can make enough plays to get the win. It's pretty evident early. C.J. Stroud's job is going to be tough against the Seattle defense.
No doubt. Look, they got to find out whether or not they got guys up front who can wind up protecting. Who are their go-to guys outside of Nico Collins in the passing game? And C.J. Stroud's going to have to be perfect in this football game. The defense can carry a heavy load, but they're going to need some help from this offense.
And I think a big thing for C.J. is, yes, you want to play fast and get it out of your hands, but don't play so fast. You have to trust your pocket a little bit to get through your progression. Did not do that.
Seattle defense flexing with the missed in the first series.
What you're seeing is these guys up front, who can just put the line of scrimmage into their blue, because that's disrupting the play from the get-go. Then you see the pressure off the edges, first it's DeMarcus Lawrence, then it's Jimmy Rosso who finishes it off. They are just so diverse in terms of their body types as you take a look at them here. Leonard Williams, I mean, you just can't say enough about him. And then you see Darren Reed. This Texans offensive line has got to find a way to get C.J. Stroud some time. Otherwise, they'll do it right now.
Second made. Added importance on these second down plays to get something out of it. A screen pass to Woody Mark, who's a terrific receiver. He was throughout his college career, and the rookie gets it near the mark, so it's going to be the 7-yard pickup, 3rd and 1.
But this is how he has to play tonight. Look how quickly CJ goes across the field and gets the ball to the rookie, Woody Marks. And if he didn't do that in the first drive, this is a good sign. And that's going to be the story for CJ Stroud tonight, is how he feels that pocket and then is as efficient and as completion-driven as possible. And this is going to be an under-center. I think if you're Houston, you would have play action football.
Watson in formation behind Chris Brooks, and
Did not get the first down, yes.
behind the line, into a blue ball there. Waving the play off is Morrissey, who's had a couple big plays already tonight.
Yeah, but what started that? It's Jaron Reed. It's the pressure inside. It's the resetting at the point of attack. Just look at it. Look at how they get the knockback. You see, he's just taking the center in the 60-pick Andrews, and he's pushing him a half a yard to a yard back in the backfield. You can just see the Texans' offensive linemen. You see how their pads go back and they're up on their heels because they're losing the battle at the point of attack.
That's a discouraging sequence for Houston. They finally get a 3rd and short.
Yep.
Actually go backwards on the run. So Tommy Townsend try to flip the field here. Went in from deep in his end zone the first time. Torrey Horton will let this one bounce, and I think they will not check up. So the Seattle defense roaring early here. And the Seahawks will take over. Goodbye, first quarter. He says when he went to San Francisco, he got to work with Lynn Kubiak and work on Montgomery, a Pro Bowl season for the Vikings a year ago, and he's on another 4,000-yard passing pace so far this year in Seattle.
Yeah, and credit to his dad, just constantly when he was a kid telling him, just keep on improving. That got him through some of those really difficult times.
Talk more about his journey. He's engaged now. Bought a house in Seattle. Downright domestic. They're very happy with the way things are going. Play fake and fires downfield.
That's a first down, yes.
You can hear the serenade of the is the veteran. He's going to find the home in Seattle, back in his home state. Do a good start this season.
This is vintage Cooper Cup. This is what we would call an F leak. It's a ball fake that way. And look at Sam Darnold's feet. Hitch, hitch, foot. Work, hitch, hitch, and then there's Cooper Cup. The ball fake sucks the defense up, and you replace the vacancy with the receiver.
It's the second downfield shot that Cup has caught this season. 24th catch. Puts the ball into Texas territory, or Houston territory, and now Darnold feeling the pressure, just fires it into the bench. And he was outside the tackle box there. No flag yet for grounding. Career stats improving, obviously, since 23. Improving in every category. 48-16 TDI-INT ratio since 23.
Once he got into that kind of system, that Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay type of system, he really has absolutely taken off. Kevin O'Connell, and it's interesting, I had a conversation with Jordan Palmer years ago, and he said once Sam gets into this kind of system, he's going to flourish, and you're seeing it happen before your eyes.
It really is very comfortable here from day one. Charbonnet running downhill. Picks up about 8 to the Houston 40.
Yeah, I think a big thing with Sam, too, he credits, when he was in Carolina, Ben McAfee, the ex-Giants head coach, with enforcing how important his feet are, meaning your feet tell you when and where to throw the football. They call it clicking through your progressions. And then he experienced it in San Francisco. He got to watch Brock Purdy do it, lived in it with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, and it's the same system that he executes now in Seattle.
Need 2 on this third down play. Charbonnet again, and they will move to 6. Great to have Katie George and Peter Schrager along with us. Actually, they're going to signal this 4th down. They say he did not get the line to make.
And if I'm Houston, or excuse me, if I'm Seattle, I absolutely go for this. My defense is great. I don't think Houston's going to score a ton against me. And this is a big physical offensive line.
Okay, look at the statistics. This is where Mike McDonald will go for it. 4th and like 1 or less than like a yard. And here it is, and this is 4th and inches. And this offensive line has really been bad.
Up on the center is A.J. Barner, the tight end. Trying to get the Texans to jump. They snap it, and he gets a shove from behind, and tight end seat works. Now let's go to Peter. Peter, what do you have?
Well, that was one of the rare plays Sam Darnold wasn't under center. The truth is, he told us he finally feels like he's home. Sam Darnold, we know his journey. He's still just 28 years old, and Chris, you mentioned it, has a fiance, bought his first home, and now feels like he's finally on the team where he is the guy. Sam Darnold played the best football of his career, and he feels completely content as he heads into the rest of this game.
Get the veteran cup and the young guy, JSN, to work with. See if he can keep the downfield shot trend going. It's been an electric start. End around here. This is Walker. And he worked hard just to make a short gain as the Texans invaded the backfield. Jalen Petrie eventually shoved him out.
D'Amico Ryans talked to us about the fact that, look, when you're playing against a team like this that is so under center heavy, it's going to take a while for you to kind of feel how this offensive line coming off the football here. You see, they take the time to get that around to Kenneth Walker. And it takes you a little bit to kind of settle into this kind of offense that is just so under center centric. You see him hit a couple of big plays early on, especially the pass to Arroyo. You saw them catch Derek Stingley with his eyes in the backfield. You really got to dial in on the quarterback's mannerisms, because if you don't, you're just going to be chasing things all game long.
Will Anderson penalized for being offside there. Getting a little antsy. So it's 1st and 5. Ball moved to the 32. Charbonnet.
Got the first down. Yes.
1st down inside the 25.
Yeah, this is a weak zone. They come out with trips to the left, and then you're just going to watch the double team front side up to the front side linebacker. This is vintage West Coast zone run scheme. You see that seam that presses, and then it's a cutback and move. This is great. You got all those perimeter players, Cooper Kupp and JSN. The safety sit back from too deep. Let's run it, and it's a nice job by that front side.
Real nice job by center Jalen Sundell getting movement at the point of attack against Tommy Togiai. They can get moving like this.
Walker. Walker hit behind the line. So young offensive line, all of them 26 or younger. Nobody more experienced than 4 years in the league.
Yeah, this football team, with John Schneider, the general manager, has done a nice job of retooling this roster. He really has them young throughout the entire roster, but in particular, Chris, as you mentioned, on the offensive side. And as this team continues to grow together, and there you get a look at John up there in the box watching this team, they are going to sneak up on some people, although I don't think they're sneaking up on anybody anymore.
Anderson and Lassiter made the play, so 2nd and 11. Final minute of the first quarter. Off the play fake, Darnold just fires it into the ground. The screen just wasn't there. Charbonnet well covered. And Daniil Hunter was closing in.
Yeah, it's an ideal call defensively. They pressure their nickel with Jalen Petrie, and he just blows it up. And so now it's 3rd and long. Very good decision by Sam Darnold there. The big thing in this situation, if you're Seattle. You have to watch your edges. Both Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are elite pass rushers. Chip them, use it back, use it tight end, allow time for Sam Darnold to see his receivers down the field.
So next to Hunter is Denico Autry is in there.
There you go.
Hey,
That's the key.
First action of the year.
That's the key in this down and distance. Nico Autry, rushing at the three technique.
Darnold, pocket collapses, being chased, able to escape, and
Hold on, there's a flag. Oh, we got some fight. We got fight going on.
for this Houston defense. It was zero to here and make the play.
It sure was. But they got some real good pressure up in the middle of the pocket. Had good coverage in the back end, forcing Sam to pull it down. Azeez Al-Shire just at the end of the play. You see them talking about it. You see Jaron Reed in pursuit.
Doesn't it look like he that's good contact, but then just drives him into the ground there?
I don't know if he drives him, but I'll tell you what the optics are. Look, you got to pull off. You got to pull off. He was really
aggressive, as you said. That's costing them fourth down.
Absolutely. You just got to figure out a way to say, look, know where you are, know your surroundings, and get off the field. Now you're back out on the field here again with a fresh set of downs.
D'Amico Ryans loves this defense. They are fast, they are violent, they are physical, and they're right on that edge often, specifically at linebacker. Henry Toto and Al-Shire, they're lights out. That one feels like crossed the line when it comes to the protection of quarterback and the driving into the ground.
And Houston make a play, force a field goal attempt. They had a chance there. Now they have to recover from the penalty. You have two scores. Where the offense is playing in this environment could be trouble.
Touchdown! Yes!
Petry's going to follow. Look at Sam Darnold. Freeze it at the top. I mean, he's going to have chaos right there. Look at, he is getting destroyed. And just a trust throw to JSN. JSN uses his body just to kind of float in the air and make these beautiful...
What's the like conduct penalties called?
I'll tell you what, the route
Well, this is
really
about
what
because
got Derek
got
Stevens here. He
touchdown.
almost recovered on it. But Jackson Smith and Jigba is just so good at the move point. He's just so fluid. You just don't know what he's doing. Derek Stingley Jr. just sat on his feet for a second. That's all it took.
Is that a vintage one? Jimmy Graham right there, the dunk?
That's a 6-footer. Showing some serious hops. It'll cost him, but he leads the NFL in receiving yards. Third-year guy out of Ohio State. All smiles.
He's a stud.
Yeah, he is. He does all the little things, right? Not a big ego, not a diva, unselfish, blocks.
The cool thing about him is his transition from being primarily an inside receiver to now an XC who can win outside the numbers. It's just been remarkable.
What did Sam Darnold say? It's like watching somebody on my
contact after the score. Number 11 of the scoring team. That 15-yard penalty is enforced on the try. We'll try from the 30-yard line.
So it'll be a 40-yard PAT here.
He said it's like watching someone on ice skates. It's, you know, for Seattle fans watching the Mariners game, rounding second base is kind of how he talked about his route running, and it feels like that celebration is a shout out to a great, great Seattle tight end, Jimmy Graham.
PAT, 38, they could have taken it on the kickoff, but they're going to push back. Myers, it's a great long-distance kicker, of course. Knocks it right.
We reached the end of quarter one.
From some of those watching on their phones. There's never been to the World Series and had two chances last night and tonight to get there for the first time.
Springer is just, in the last decade, one of the clutch postseason baseball players.
Turn on the 5-yard line. And Smith knocked up at the 30. Have a look at the touchdown.
Offensive coordinator Cliff Kubiak is just look at the movement at the top of the route. You see how it's almost like he's just dancing at the route. It's not real shortcuts, and Sam Darnold again, that's just a brilliant throw. But think what Jackson Smith will do on the offensive right against the first-team All-Pro and Derek Stingley Jr. A lot of his big plays come from offensive left. That's where he runs a lot of them from. They have no fear in this offense right now. They're operating at a high level. You go after Derek Stingley Jr. right now.
Captain, 10-play, 80-yard drive. So mentioned the struggles of this Houston offense, the number one scoring defense in the NFL, giving up more points already in the first quarter than allowed per game.
Yeah, Seattle's controlled the football game from an offensive perspective so far, really kind of done whatever. Houston, I like this right now. Build some tempo, continue to try to chase efficiency.
To the far side, good enough for a first down. Katie George.
Well, Chris, C.J. Stroud has really come into his own this season, both naturally and out of necessity. Joe Mixon was considered this team's vocal and emotional leader. Stroud said in his absence, he's really had to step up and he's using his voice more than ever. He said he's a pretty chill guy, but when he takes command of his team, it resonates, and boy, do they need that leadership from him if they want to cut into this defensive guys in this environment.
With the footage, unclear who's going to travel. I should not expect that anytime soon. First down off the play fake. And that time the far side by Nico Collins. Flags come in. Coverage by Josh Jobe there. 18-yard pickup.
You see this incredible catch radius that Nico Collins has, just carrying the load as far as the wide receivers are concerned. That's a heck of a grab. He says, Josh Jobe, I want to take your arm, the ball, everything with me.
That's the flag. We didn't see much there.
On either side.
Held by both teams on the play. Ineligible player downfield, number 79. Pass interference, number 29 defense. Those fouls offset. Replay first down.
He left the first rate downfield, so that wipes out that 18-yard gain.
Yeah. It really has been a tale of basically two seasons, the first three games versus the last two. You see how much more comfortable CJ has become. I know people will say, well, look, we'll look at the competition and keep it all in context. But the fact of the matter is, he's starting to settle into a rhythm. He knows what his responsibility is in this offense. But honestly, he's not going to put the ball up in the air to get this team back in the game. He's going to fall on his shoulder.
First down, Stroud has time and flips it. Makes the pick. Yeah, to be fair, the Titans came in there. Cam Ward's homecoming game blew in a shutout, and then Baltimore was without everybody left.
Yeah.
So this is a much bigger test.
And listen, this is C.J. Stroud, second offensive coordinator in 2 seasons. And for Nick Caley, who is their play caller, he comes from the Patriots, he comes from the Rams. They're trying to figure out who they are identity-wise. Look, you remember 2 years ago, 23, C.J.'s rookie year was underneath the center, it was hard rolls, and big play-action ends. They're not really who they are right now. I think it's when he's best. It's a lot of this shotgun catching stuff.
Straight back, steps up, finds the pocket, he flips it over the middle and drops. Nico Collins had plenty of space, lost his focus and lost the football.
That's a heck of a job by C.J. Stroud of navigating the pocket. And he said, look, he's a guy who's pretty calm in the pocket. He feels like he has some of the best movement in the pocket of any quarterback in the NFL. And there you see it. I mean, that's textbook. He can't do it more than that. He's got to get help from the people around him. And I think that's something you got to remember when you look at C.J. Stroud. And maybe his numbers don't be as great as they were in his rookie season. The things around him have changed a lot too in 2 years.
And 10 on third down to get this drive going. Pedals incomplete, broken up, and a hand on it was Mafe, and the Seahawks get stopped.
This is an elite Mike McDonald, what we call simulated pressure. Bring guys from one side, and then you're going to drop guys from the other side. Pressure off the right, drop off the left. C.J. Stroud doesn't see that dropping defensive end. Mafe, it's an almost interception, but it's really attached to that inefficiency on first and second down. Seattle loves to live in those exotic pressure situations.
Townsend punted away. Boy, the drop by Collins is huge. You just cannot make mistakes. Your offense is struggling. You're playing an elite defense like this, already down 2 scores, and a missed opportunity. Horton has some space. Corey Horton coming all the way across the field and will finally be knocked out of bounds across the 30. Ran a long way, pick up 18 yards on the return. So this Seattle offense already up 2 scores early second quarter. Back to work. Darnold sharp as he has been the first 6 games for the most part. Alabama and South Carolina. This is a sandwich game in prime time in Baton Rouge. Undefeated, third-ranked Texas A&M.
Good year for college football, hasn't it, Chris?
Good fun, man.
I mean, it's been incredible. Viewership way up, fan interest, parity has kind of creeped into college football in a way like you've never seen.
About 10 teams in the SEC still in contention.
Yeah, there you
Got
go.
our championship game. It's wild. Walker is the back. Seattle tries to build this lead. Really, the Houston defense cannot let this momentum continue. They've got to come up with a stop here. This offensive chance. Kamari Lassiter makes the play that time.
And it's been a great start for Seattle offensively tonight. We've talked about this run and run action marriage in this offense. Underneath, ball fake to the back. The tight end leads down the sideline. Once again, underneath the center, great action. Look at the defense. Drive up to the line of scrimmage. Keeper dumping this down in the red zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ball out.
This is so difficult. When the quarterback turns his back, it's just natural for you to want to follow him and kind of stay frozen. Quarterback turns his back, you got to get back, play things top down. You see the separation it causes between the second and third level.
Blitz comes, Darnold on the move, slings it out, and flags down in the pit. Catch was made by Hopper. Check the marker.
Flag is down.
10-yard penalty.
And it draws the hold on Anthony Bradford, the red guard.
Well, let me ask you this. Is it different if the quarterback's underneath the center when it comes to that run action in the gun? And what's the biggest challenge for, like, that second and third level of the defense when he is?
Well, in the gun, it's just not, the ball handling isn't as definitive. Like, it doesn't really, you don't
Sell it?
It doesn't sell to you the same way it does when he's sprinting off the line of scrimmage from under center. Remember playing against John Elway at the Denver Broncos? He used to absolutely torch people. When he had Terrell Davis over 2,000 yards, it was almost impossible to defend.
You're still stressed out about that.
I am. That's like 20-something years ago. That's stars. I still have
PTSD this morning. They're meeting. Darnold, second and 21. Smith and Jacobs just almost broke that. He picked up 15, but he wanted more that time.
This is, I love this, man. This is exactly where he's thrown the most. Look at the top of his drop. 1, 2, 3. He's going to sit. Nope, number 1's not there. Then that quick reset to number 2. That's kind of what we talked about with Sam with that. Ben McAdoo, the clicking through the progression. Just look at how calm they are. 1, 2, 3. Number 1's not there. Reset to number 2. That's beautiful. That's absolutely in control at the quarterback position.
Dylan Bullock made a nice open field tackle. He's the speedy receiver to prevent a bigger gain. Sets up a 3rd and 6. And
False
it's going to be a false
start.
start. And Seattle will make this a more challenging 3rd down play.
You can just tell that Sam Darnold also
Number 15, offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
using his eyes,
Yes.
pulling defenders where he wants them.
Zone, right?
If you're the Houston Texans, you may think about going a little bit more man-to-man coverage here because right now he's kind of got them on a string a little bit as you see defensive coordinator Matt Burke. Look, they're still one of the best defenses in the NFL. But they have the athletes to match up against this team man for man. In these obvious passing situations, they see them go a little bit more.
100 passing yards already for Darnold, who looks downfield. And trying to make the play is the rookie Horton just beyond him. 2 Houston defenders tracking him, Bullock and MJ Stewart.
It's a nice job by Bullock of recovering, kind of getting on the horse to kind of track Horton down. You see Horton, who may have a step at first. That looks like it's coming open. As you see, the safety MJ Stewart caught a little bit short. Just off of his fingertips.
Seahawks to punt. Arias awaits the boot from Dixon at the Houston 15. Stop that Houston needed. stop the bleeding, stop the momentum, give their offense a chance to try to get something going. Barrios bobbles it, and the Miami Hurricane is knocked down at about the 24. Seattle historically struggles here at home, but not so far tonight. Tell you what, if you ask folks, give me a question, which franchise has the best overall winning percentage in the history of college football? Seattle fans might know that. Maybe not that many other fans would. 30-13 is the number one winning percentage of all time. The franchise began, the Monday Night franchise began in 1970. 21-7 here at home over the years. Pete Carroll was almost unbeatable. Down 10 in a row.
Yeah, he provided some just tremendous defenses. Great to see Cam and Earl Thomas here tonight. They're playing like it's so far early on.
What can this Houston offense do to get going? 13 plays, a total of 16 yards. Stroud under pressure on a first down throw. There's no chance for Jalen Noah with rookie.
Here's where I am. There's been one offense that's played well against this defense in Seattle this year. It was Tampa. They came here. They had Baker Mayfield underneath the center. They went heavy play action on early downs. And I think with an offensive line that's struggling, getting in the shotgun and trying to throw timing is not for me what's going to be the best thing. They got to move the pocket. They got to get some double teams up front in the run game. They have to get the ball out of his hands in the screen game. There has to be a constant change of Rolodex play calling wise so you keep this defense somewhat guessing.
Pressure comes, Stroud on the move. Moving the ball thrown. It's a live ball for now. It is scooped up by Drake Thomas. And now the ball's loose in the end zone. Looks like Braxton Berrios came back and recovered it. That was a wild play. We'll go back and see if it was incomplete or a fumble at the start of it. Ernest Jones got there, and it's going to be called a safety. So Berrios saved the touchdown by making the recovery. Initial pressure from Ernest Jones, the fourth, who's a tackling machine on this defense.
You're going to see Ernest. He's just sitting here and really, he's like a combo in the back. He realizes that he doesn't have coverage, so he just really just starts to swing and then see safety.
Safety, yeah.
I think that ball went backwards either way as it starts, so I think they're going to let this play out. They're taking a look also at the defender right at the goal line. Did he lose possession there as he went into the end zone? So there's a lot going on this play.
Good point. It was a backwards pass, even if you threw it pass. So things getting worse. The Texans, Seattle. Under heavy pressure, did lose the football, so it's going to be ruled a fumble, recovered by Seattle, but then fumbled in the field of play. You get Mike Chase to explain all that, but first the pressure. There's that backwards pass. I mean, it's going to be scooped up here, and Drake Thomas thought he had a touchdown. Then he fumbles the ball. Berrios eventually recovers it, Mike. So
the defense actually puts the ball in the end zone, recovered by the offense. But at the front end of this, we had a foul against the offense, which they'll now enforce.
It is a fumble recovered by the defense. The defensive player fumbled prior to crossing the goal line. The initial offense recovered it in the end zone for a touchback. The illegal shift on number 19 will be enforced because it will be a better option for the defense with offense having second down at 15.
Thank you, Carl Shepard. It's like a Dostoevsky verse there.
There we go. So we're going to enforce the foul and make it second down, go from the 24 back to the 19, rather than
so a double fumble,
at the
penalty enforced.
And Houston keeps the ball.
Yeah, the Seattle had possession and fumbled in the end zone.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, we have seen that pressure. I mean, that's kind of what has stunted this offense for the better part of a year and a half. Is we had three offensive linemen blocking one person, the middle linebacker, Ernest Jones, completely unblocked. If Houston's going to have a chance tonight, they're going to have to figure out who's blocking who and then get that job done much better than they have the first 20 minutes of this football game.
after all that. 2nd and 15. Stroud, long throw. Collins makes the catch. Hit immediately. Well, heartbreak for Seattle baseball fans. It is over. The Toronto Game 7 goes to the Blue Jays. George Springer's 3-run home run, bottom of the 7th. A decisive blow. Seattle had 2 chances in Toronto to finally get into their first World Series. And the M's fans, the agony continues. But the football team's good. Their football team. That is. You said Springer, proven postseason hero, does it again. 3rd and 12. Quickly pitched to the long sidelines. Flag flies as the rookie is forced out short of a first down.
Flag is down.
I think on top of it, you're getting an offensive holding on Jaden Higgins. He's trying to get a block for his teammate out in the
Holding
perimeter.
number 81. Offense.
Yes!
You just see that this football team right
no
now
life
offensively. Yeah, I mean, somebody, look, they're going to need to start. It all starts up front. We've tried to chronicle that already in this football game. They're going to have to be more in unison. And when the plays are there to be made, guys like Nico Collins have to make the plays for C.J. Stroud. Otherwise, this game could get out of hand with the way the Seattle defense is getting after it.
I think they're almost relieved to punt. They could have been down 3 scores. It should have been a fumble return for a touchdown. They punched out at the last moment. They sorted it all out. Bounce, or time. That quickness is bumped out of bounds, but Seattle set up with excellent field position on a disappointing night for the Mariners. The Seahawks trying to make them.
NFL Plus.
Miko Ryan's a strong connection to the Kubiak family. Player from Texas, rookie linebacker. Gary Kubiak, the head coach, has a pretty distinguished set. Kyle Shanahan, McDaniel, DC. Robert Saleh was a defensive assistant coach in his 2nd year. Eddie Weaver was a defensive end there.
You're the Houston Texans right now. Speaking of defense, you've got to find a way to get your offense the ball on the plus side of the 50. You got to get a turnover here.
Should be a run. Can. 2 safeties deep.
And there's a run to Walker, and it is aggressively shut down.
Flag is down.
Walker was dropped for about a 4-yard loss. Amari Lassiter was there. Little Clint, at the practices, right?
I was there. I think a year after that photo was taken with D'Amico and Coach Kubiak, Little Clint. Clint Kubiak was often at practices, and D'Amico has a great experience with this offense. Clint Kubiak was the first guy that Mike McDonald met with when he was interviewing offensive coordinators.
Number 97 defense. 15 yards will be enforced.
Yes!
When he was interviewing offensive coordinators this offseason and understanding training the right way, and how his father kind of really taught him how the art of play calling and the growth as a whole as a play caller. And D'Amico knows how hard and dynamic this offense is to defend schematically when you get in a really good rhythm as a play caller. And Clint Kubiak's been that way so far this year.
Brian Squester has a 15-yard penalty on Mario Edwards, who moves the ball into Houston territory. Fresh set for the Seahawks to try to get Walker going. Hasn't been a super productive birthday so far. So again, made the stop.
You talk about D'Amico Ryans being frustrated. I mean, they are right now, they're starting to settle into a little bit of a groove here as far as defending this run game. And every time they create a negative play, there's something just goes wrong when they get some positivity going.
They have 12 more penalty yards than total offensive yards so far tonight. 36 to 24. It's not the ratio you want. Another short run for Walker.
You see the fury with which they're playing on the defensive side of the football. I mean, this third down here is critical. Field position And every single score matters. I mean, they have to basically pitch a shutout here until they can get some points on the board. You go down 3 scores against this defense, the way it's playing here at home, I still don't know if you can recover from that.
Against these defenses, neither side has converted a third down yet. Both are 0 for 4. Darnold delivers the throw to the sideline. There's the first third down conversion. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
This is really good. Look how quickly they break the huddle, sprint to the line of scrimmage, and how fast this ball gets snapped. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Center puts his hands on the ball, and that gets snapped quickly. You're trying to beat any type of pass rush or pressure, and it forces the defense to communicate a little bit of a bunch and a stack. Helps that release for JSF.
If you're Derek Stingley Jr., you're playing middle field close coverage. You have a safety in the middle. You can't get beat on the 7 routes.
Talked about that elite matchup, corner and running back. As Cup takes a handoff, it's the throw, and it's intercepted. The overshot, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Kalen Bullock makes the pick. That's the play Houston needed to try to get a spark here and stop the bleeding.
It absolutely is, and sometimes you wonder, sometimes offensive coordinators, they get a little tricky when they don't really need to. They try to go deep in the bag here, and Kalen Bullock is in a perfect spot to make a huge play.
So the trick. New York fans this season, 9:30 Spurs. I'm excited, like many of you, that the NBA returns tomorrow night and on Wednesday. Opening week doubleheader on ESPN, 7 Eastern, Cavaliers and the Knicks. Those are high for the New York fans this season, 9:30 Spurs and Mavericks. We look like Spurs' regular season NBA game at home for the Mavericks. NBA tip-off, Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq at 6 o'clock Eastern. Welcome to ESPN, guys. And the takeaway prevents the Seattle scoring opportunity and gives the football back to Stroud, who's fielding pressure and flips it short to Chubb in the screen, and that doesn't work. As they go backwards, Byron Murphy, the nose tackle, got him 5 yards behind the line. With this,
I mean, it's just a great big play by Byron Murphy. I mean, he beat the screen immediately. It looked like that was going to be a play-action shot. Just going backwards.
That's 19 yards now when there are 17 plays.
Finally got the quarterback under center, but got before a screen. It's just, they got to get some positive yards, some chunk plays going down the field.
So the expression of Nick Haley, nothing's worked tonight. And the slant, that works. Fighting out near the first down is Nico Collins. Katie?
Yeah, Chris, in between offensive series, Texans offensive line coach Cole Popovich told his group, it all starts with Seattle's Mike linebacker. If he's downhill, we have to track that guy. Popovich said everything's happening inside right now. Pick up their Mike linebacker.
Ernest Jones, the fourth. Guy who was traded twice last year. He's just a 100-tackle-a-year guy every year.
Katie's spot on. I mean, Ernest Jones traded twice last year. He's found his home. But Houston has to be aware of everybody on that front 7 and the movement. I like their tempo. CJ's got to be efficient with the ball.
Pressure comes, ball out. By Houston there, coming free with Boye Mafe.
Mike is
knocked it out of his
down.
hands from the blind side.
You just can't single your tackles up. You can't.
Titus Howard made the recovery.
13. Defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The Texans caught a break there. His Boye Mafe looked like he was shot out of a cannon going against the rookie, Ariante Ursary, and he's just around the corner in a hurry. That jump, and then you see the left hand, the left arm just swatting the ball in Stroud's hand.
And I know it's easier said than done. But I wouldn't, if I was Houston at all, have my tackle blocking one-on-one play. That's the right call. Ernest Jones was friction down the field. You got to help those guys in the corner.
Swing off the left side is Marks, and the rookie barreling into Seattle territory. They knew that. They knew they were going to have that top on their edge, but whatever they're doing has not been effective at slowing it down.
Yeah, you see they're just going to give up a gap. You see there's some mix-ups. You see 3 guys in one gap, and the Texans exploited Woody Marks is getting downhill, taking advantage of what the defense gives them in terms of their misgap assignments. Now they got another press, set it down on the first side of the 50. You got to take a shot downfield at some point if they can get single safety and get one-on-ones.
Once again, the offensive line that has struggled to run block and also to pass block. The deck really reshuffled from last year. Only Titus Howard, the right tackle, when you reshuffle the deck for 2025. Larry Tunsil, obviously an elite left tackle. Traded away. Draft the rookie Ursary to take his spot on the left side. Jake Andrews stepped in at center.
These guys have played in a lot of different systems. You mentioned Ursary, so they're trying to connect these guys together. They all be on the same page, see the run game, and steps together. It's a challenge.
Fakes to Marks and puts in the flat, and the catch is made by Schultz, and Dalton Schultz. Second release pass play tonight. First down inside the 25. Picked up 22 yards.
Yeah, this is nice. Watch we call this like a switch release by the tight end receivers. You get action that way. C.J. Stroud, ball fake, one step down, they're short in the front.
But you see the effect when the second level defenders, when the quarterback's under center, and he bursts out.
Offense badly beaten. Collins wants a flag, and it does come in late.
Flag is down.
Drake Thomas there grabbed a hold of him.
Yeah, he definitely did. But going back to the previous play, getting the quarterback under center, he reverses out.
Number 42 defense. Rule of the ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
You're going to see Drake Thomas, the linebacker, coming to your picture right there. And that's just going to be called all day long. I don't see the effect. You see the effect. We've been talking about it, and you brought it up, Dan, about just how much more difficult it is to defend the passing game when the quarterback's under center. I'm telling you from the defensive perspective, they better put it on the center a little bit more. You can see how it works for them.
And the red zone now needing a touchdown. Down a couple scores. May not get too many opportunities here. Stroud escapes the pocket and now puts it late in the flat to Trev, who dropped it.
That's the second time tonight. You know, he's done such a good job of moving in the pocket, and he's gotten the ball up before it's the Nico Collins drop, who's his go-to guy, and now it's pocket movement. He climbs up, he goes to escape, his vision is up, and then it's right for Chubb. It's a little bit out in front, but man, you know, Lewis, you've talked about it. It's got to be CJ, but also somebody coming along with him to try to make some of those plays.
It's got to be someone other than Nico Collins. Is it Jalen Moore? Is it Jaden Higgins? Xavier Hutchins. Somebody has to make a play.
Second and 10, Stroud stumbles coming out. And unlike Trevor Lawrence, he's not able to get up and dive in the end zone and just stay on the ground. And just when they get down into the red zone and have an opportunity to finally get on the board, a drop or an inaccurate throw. That might have been on Stroud the first one, and then he stumbles here.
Watch the right foot. Yep, there's the right foot of the center, Jake Andrews. Sometimes that happens when you got that defensive tackle, that nose tackle right over that center's head. He's trying to stop to make a flag, or step to make a block, and he steps back and goes right on the receiver's foot.
Can't take a sack, no way to the home. We're in 12 field goal range here. You got to get you got to get some points on the board here in this game.
Steps up and delivers. Goes to the ball. Schultz and those get back inside the 20. Bruce Jones made the stop, and they'll have to settle for 3. I said got to get points, but a real opportunity. Didn't even have a red zone trip until the 4th game of the season, and the last couple of weeks they've gotten more efficient down there with a missed chance.
Better drive there, though. You know, they ran the football decently. They moved the pocket for the quarterback up some easier completions, and it gives them the chance to try to get some points before the half.
Those get the 3. So Houston on the board after a 10-play, 60-yard drive.
The Geico Gecko? I'm like speechless.
As a coach as you'll ever see in D'Amico Ryan.
That could happen too. This is a championship level defense, but as we talked about with Houston, the offense struggling mightily So far, they've kept it together.
Yeah, and I think, you get the interception, you take points off the board for Seattle, and then you had to turn it into something. And there was some positive stuff on that drive. I love the interaction with Al-Shaair and CJ, and it's just trying to stay in it in this game. Huge drive for their defense right before they have to try to keep this football and this game at 14-3.
Solani takes the kickoff and is run out of bounds. Week 7 saw the post-game celebration in Chicago. The Bears have won 4 straight. Wisconsin Air. Patriots also a 4-game winning streak. The Colts have the best record in the AFC. And Broncos unbelievable comeback against the Giants. Set out for 3 quarters, scored 33 in the 4th.
That's an amazing team. The Denver Broncos. How about some of these teams I just didn't figure would have these kind of seasons so far, just out the gate so fast.
Pitch to the edge. Smith-Njigba spins down. What's the most surprising story for you guys so far?
I think right now it's the way the Indianapolis
And we
Colts
reached into minute 1.
Of clock time away from the All-State halftime. You guys will have to take place in this first half. Let's have a D4-9 Detroit victory for the Buccaneers. Big evening for Samir Gibbs. 36-yard rushing solid for Goff. A statement win for the Lions.
Especially a high-powered Tampa Bay offense. Detroit was down again, I think, 4 or 5 starters. And then their secondary find a way at home to win that game, to rebound off of the loss to Kansas City. I think that's one of the clear best teams in the NFL.
Darnold, last 4 completions have been to Smith-Njigba. 2 minutes to work with to add to this 11-point lead. Charbonnet takes the handoff, and that's Charbonnet going to break the ball away.
It's the first down, yeah.
Stopped at midfield, picked up 15.
You see that ball ball. Listen, he is just so good through his core. Look at it. Look at Will Anderson running through. That's a tough. Derek Stingley throws a no-hitter. Tip doesn't try to wrap him up. Zach Charbonnet just doing what he's done his entire career. Yards after contact.
Run through the strong grip of Will Anderson. You've done something.
Absolutely.
This drive to a strong start. Darnold from the pocket delivers across the middle. Gets again. So the last 5 Seattle completions have been to number 11. Picked up 10.
This is just outstanding once again. You're going to see this is a high roll. He's going to really work outside in. An outstanding job by Darnold being completion driven.
Very good tempo. Darnold stepped up and fires low. Smith-Njigba again targeted. Murray Lassiter. He got a hand on it. Final minute of the half.
JSN's going to run this in route. Just pay attention to that linebacker, okay? Watch Sam Darnold peek to his left, 1, 2, 3. Not there. Second hitch, ball out. That's just big time. We've talked about that tonight. 1 hitch, 2 hitch. See how that is exactly how you have to play quarterback from the pocket in this league.
They have the perfect play call on. You've got Daniil Hunter dropping in kind of a fire zone type of look against JSN essentially. You're going to lose that down for time to not.
Charbonnet. And shows that right drive. Also down inside the 35, picked up 6.
It's amazing. You did something you said shows that leg drive. It's just so obvious. I mean, the guy is just built. And him and Kenneth Walker, I mean, there's such a great combination. Right now, they're riding a hot hand. Charbonnet just running with power and authority in between the tackles. Just methodically moving the football down the field.
Yeah, they had to step up last year when Kenneth Walker missed 6 games, and he's a very effective 1-2 punch. This running game has actually done more than Walker has tonight. Seattle spends a timeout down to 29 seconds. 3rd down and 4.
To learn how to be in a T-Mobile iPhone commercial, Jeff Bridges moved in with Zoe Saldana. But mostly, they just played.
Cup motioning around on the left, sack behind Smith-Njigba. Darnold looking that way. Does not want to take a sack. Retreats and just airmails it into the bench. Down to 23 seconds. And Nico Autry made it uncomfortable for the quarterback that time.
This is a nice job of front and coverage working together. It took away Sam's first read. Then the rush starts to kind of close in. That's just good team defense on the part of the Texans stepping up here at the end of the first half. And trying at the very least see if they can force them into 3, maybe get a blocked field goal here.
Here's Jason Myers, who graduated from Marist in 12. Didn't make his NFL debut until 3 years later. In the meantime, went back to his hometown of San Diego and worked as a valet, parking cars. And has been in the Pro Bowl a couple of times. And it's blocked. You probably notice
it's blocked.
Hang around here. Seattle some missed opportunities to add to the lead. And they're going to get the ball to begin the second half, apparently down 11.
What a call by the
As much as this is next to Nico Autry, they just activated him off of PUP, and he's already having an effect on this game. You're just going to see right over the center. You see the power he just rushed with? I mean, oh my goodness. Just look at him here. Look what happens to the center when he just hits him with his hip. Just the big left hand up. I mean, that's a huge. This game feels like Seattle has absolutely dominated. When you look up at the score, I mean, it's just 14-3.
Think about it, back-to-back drives, right? It's getting the Cooper Kupp reverse pass, take points off the board, and now your defense finds a way to force the field goal, and you call it the field goal block. And listen, there's enough time if you're C.J. Stroud in this offense. Can you find a big in-breaking or out-breaking route and then pop a quick timeout for your chance in field goal?
As it comes, Stroud steps up, lofts it downfield, and the grab is made by Jalen Noel. And the rookie puts Houston in scoring position at the 25. Nice pitch on the run, 29 yards.
This is absolutely big time by C.J. Stroud. You're going to see pressure from his right and the chaos that happens with DeMarcus Lawrence. Time the pocket, eyes downfield, and good job. That is a perfect throw. That's outstanding.
We said someone else has to step up. There's Noel. He's stepping up. This game is going to hit on C.J. Stroud's shoulders. It's going to be on his right arm, on his feet, on his mind. He's going to have to find a way to get them back in this game. He's going to need help.
Great catch. I mean, Ernest Jones was there and knocked the ball away. Strong hands.
Yeah, he said that young player is a big guy. I think it's really smart here. Okay, see, you have 6 seconds. If you're throwing the ball, you cannot hold on to it. It's catch. Maybe throw it out of bounds, just waste some time.
So risky.
Second short timeout. Seattle. A 30.
Oftentimes in these situations as an offense, we would talk about it and, hey, we just want to make sure we can catch. We tell the receiver, hey, run a 2-yard out route. CJ, we're going to catch the ball and just throw the ball out of bounds. We're trying to waste those 3 or 4 seconds. It is mandatory that you get this field goal attempt off. And so sometimes you can run the football and try to get 2 or 3 if you clear yourself down and call it that time.
If you make the catch in bounds, you get immediately.
You're not trying to complete it. You are just trying to legally throw a forward pass to land out of bounds to waste 3 or 4 seconds. That's the only thing you're trying to do. Or you can hand the ball off and tell them you're back. You're trying to get 2 or 3 yards, or maybe it's a quarterback sweep and automatically pop that timeout. You're not trying to really get a completion there.
If you try to get one, things can go wrong here. Has a few opportunities. I'm going to squander one here. Backs up and does throw it away, and they use 4 of those seconds, so down to 2, and here comes the field goal attempt.
Just like that Monday Night Football game a week ago where we saw how the end of the half ended that way.
Yes.
I mean, you wind up not getting any points. In that case, with the Atlanta Falcons, as I think it was Drake London, right, was trying to score on the play. Just want to make sure that you can get some kind of points on the scoreboard if you're the Houston Texans.
Maybe Fairbairn from 36 earlier. From 46. Memphis an 8-point Seattle lead. The half that has been completely dominated by the Seahawks.
And we reached the end of the first half.
field goal attempt, and then C.J. Stroud makes a beautiful throw and gives them a chance to get 3 on the board. Here's the thing. They're getting the ball to start the second half. They got to be better on first down. 10 snaps on first down right before that big play to Noel. 1.9 yards per first down attempt. They got to do that better to give them a chance.
Taken by Smith. Go to Katie. Check the sidelines.
D'Amico, the blocked field goal leads to extra points. How pivotal were the final 13 seconds of the first half?
Yeah, that was huge for us. Our team needed a big play. The guys stepped up. Archer made a big play. CJ and Jake Noel, that's what we needed. We needed that spark to get us going. And we're here now. We got to go finish it.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Autry just activated it. 12-year veteran, 35-year-old guy getting a big hand up there. And let's see if Stroud can pick up where he left off that second quarter. Joe had much success running the ball. Picks up about 5. Oh, Seattle, as we said, had opportunities up 14-0 to really get a hammer lock on this game. Here's this interception by Cutler. He's never completed a pass in his career.
This is why they go to this kind of play, this kind of situation when the quarterback is on fire. D'Amico Autry, again, just being activated off of PUP. His presence on defense and on special teams is huge. It's a 3-phase game. 2 of the phases are clicking for the Texans. See if they can hit the third one goal.
Stroud has to avoid pressure, steps up, delivers.
Picked off! Yes!
The pressure forced it. Jones barreling down to the 15-yard line. Exactly what they could not afford the first turnover tonight.
This is vintage Mike McDonald again. You're going to see Houston come up with
Flag is down.
as wide receivers. That is something that you're trying to do to create success leverage-wise. And Mike McDaniel is going to dial up just the perfect pressure.
Check the penalty mark. It was a small break.
Interception during the return. Personal foul, illegal blind outside block, number 7 of the intercepting team. After enforcement of the 15-yard penalty, it will be 1st and 10.
Also penalized for the block. Jones was in the run back. The pressure really forces the bad throw.
I mean, just watch the read right here. I mean, Dan's drawing up the blitz, but just watch the read by Ernest Jones. Look how he's pushing in the seam route and then comes off of it and gets his body all the way back around to make this interception as he's falling to the ground.
Joe forced it. Stroud kind of stepped up. Dan, you would say the feet not set on that throw.
You see how like those receivers are cut, Lou, right? And so both those corners trigger. That's something defenses will do. And that backside pressure forces CJ's feet to kind of be all over the place. But you're right. The ability for Ernest Jones to peel off that for the biggest shoes.
You cannot play him any better than that by Ernest Jones.
Play fake Arnold. Fires downfield. And a couple of receivers there even off the hands of A.J. Barner. Running behind him is Torrey Horton.
And spacing on that route did not look right. This was not enough separation. As you see here, Horton coming across. Looks like the tight end. Barner may have, or rather Harrison Bryant. No, it wasn't Harrison Bryant. I had it wrong. A.J. Barner may have gotten a little bit too deep on his route. Running that 3-level flood concept.
See Darnold's reaction. Thought that was a missed opportunity and a big play there. And a second down run. And walking downhill is Walker. Picks up about 7. Never did go to the ground. Whistle did blow. Crowd concerned about that.
I just like how the Seattle offensive line coming off the ball. You see the tight ends. You see Eric Saubert just takes his guy and dumps him on the ground. I believe he had Daniil Hunter just locked up.
Forward progress was stopped there.
I think about it like this. They're 1 for 6 tonight on third down for Seattle. Yeah.
Better run for it. Walker spins. Knocked down short of the marker at the 29. So 4th down And about 1.5 yards. Autry made the play there.
I would be aggressive if I was Seattle here. Again, I feel like my defense is absolutely fantastic. I'm calling the run on 3rd down in that situation, anticipating going on it for 4th down. Also, you have momentum right now off of that interception. I would be aggressive.
I wonder if this is actually going to be a run or is this a play action type? You got Sam in the gun.
Brady Russell to his right. Charbonnet. Hard to stop tonight. It's the deep back. They fake it to him. Darn will look at a throw across the middle.
It's a 4th down. Yes.
There, especially when Sam came out in the gun.
So how about this route, man? Look at this young man off the line of scrimmage. Look at that stab inside, gets Lassiter to release inside, and just, I mean, that's wide open in the NFL. 3 feet of separation.
The development of Jackson Smith and Jit.
That's so good.
It's just, look, C.J. Stroud said when they were at Ohio State, he said that all along he knew he was the one. He was the best one of all those fantastic receivers. He's showing you why he believes that now.
The 4th down conversion. Walker fires straight ahead. Yeah, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave were the more experienced guys, particularly the young one. And you asked fellow Buckeyes, no, that guy, JSN, is the most talented. What are you talking about? These guys are first-round picks.
Because maybe physically he doesn't present like a Garrett Wilson but just if you watch him, can you win at the line of scrimmage versus press? Absolutely. Because he's separated at the top of the routes, absolutely. And because he catches on a consistent basis, yes, those are the trademarks.